In today's video, I'm going to talk about the importance of feeling connected. With so many of us in isolation, we can find ourselves feeling lonely and disconnected from the people that we love. Many of us aren't going to work anymore, seeing colleagues. We might not be able to see close family and friends. And for people living on their own, there can be a real sense that they won't be able to touch anyone or hold anyone or feel close to anyone physically for potentially quite a few weeks. This is really hard for human beings. So I'm going to explore this today in this video and try and help you to feel a bit more connected and close to others, even while you sit on your own in your own rooms. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is start off with some exploration, please. So close your eyes if you can and just travel down from your head, your thinking brain, into your heart, the more intuitive part of you. And just notice what it feels like when you think about being isolated. Who would you most like to see right now? When you think about those people, what comes up for you? What emotions, what feelings? And just notice those. If you've got a pen and paper, you can write them down, or you can just mentally make a note. So maybe you're noticing your family, your partner, your friends, perhaps the feelings that come up for you are sadness, loss, frustration, anxiety about when you might see them again. And if you can, if you're noticing those feelings where they are in your body, so for me they're kind of around the heart area, just see if you can travel down to the layer beneath those feelings. What do you notice there? Sometimes when we go to a deeper layer, we can find ourselves with a sense of disconnection or emptiness. It can sometimes feel like a cavern or a cave or a vacuum that's dark and cold and doesn't have any light in it. And if you notice that or that resonates with you, then we can work a little bit with that today. But whatever comes up for you is just fine. You can't get this wrong. It's just about your experience. And we're going to use Phil Mollon's Blue Diamond healing process to work with these feelings of disconnection and loneliness today. So it uses 2 points on the body, just underneath the collarbone here in the center. Put a couple of fingers just lightly resting there, and about the center of your chest, around where your heart would be. In Eastern approaches, this is the center of the heart chakra. And then just close your eyes and just try and visualize what I'm saying as best you can. You don't have to see it really clearly. However it comes to you is just fine. So imagine there's a beautiful blue diamond gleaming and sparkling just underneath your top 2 fingers, underneath the collarbone. And in a moment, on an out breath, send a copy of this blue diamond, a replica, way up into the sky above your head. And it goes up so high in the sky that it disappears from view. And you can still see it in your mind's eye. And when it reaches the top of the sky, it starts to spin clockwise, sending out shards of rainbow silvery light, creating a gently spinning light field that comes about halfway down your being. Now put your attention on the blue diamond just underneath your collarbone again, and this time on an out breath, send a copy of it, a replica, way down into the center of the earth. And when it reaches the center of the earth, it starts to spin counterclockwise this time, sending up shards of rainbow silvery light, creating another gently spinning light field that comes about halfway up your being. This one spinning counterclockwise. So you're held and you're encased in these 2 gently spinning light fields. And where they overlap, they work together in perfect harmony. Now I want you to imagine there's another version of you, a kind of parallel self. It's connected to you and it exists in another place, almost like another dimension, but not quite. And just see if you can see this parallel version of you in your mind's eye. Just notice what it's like to have some connection with that parallel self. And then imagine you could send out a beam of connection from your heart to the parallel self's heart. Sending out a beam of love and connection, directly connecting the two of your hearts together. And just notice what that's like for you. If you want, you might want to have a brief conversation with the parallel self. Ask the parallel self how they are. And ask them if there's anything that they see in you that needs healing. Just take a couple of moments and imagine having a conversation with your parallel self. Sometimes it's helpful just to reconnect to the parallel self, and that in itself can make you feel less lonely. So remember that if you're feeling a bit isolated at the moment. Now imagine you and your parallel self connected at the heart area, and you can both tilt your heads up to look upwards. And as you do, you notice there's a beautiful orb of light way up in the sky, a bit like a sun or a star, and it's both you and your parallel self special healing light. It's just for you two. And just notice what that colour that is for you today. And imagine that you and your parallel self could request from that light some healing light be sent down into both of your hearts. So you're forming a kind of triangle or a trinity between the three of you. You and your parallel self are connected at the bottom, on the bottom end of the triangle, and at the top comes down the light from that beautiful light source. And any parts of you that have been disconnected from this light source, that have been lost and hidden, that have maybe been hiding away from this beautiful source of light for whatever reason, just invite that light down into those areas to reconnect. And imagine that light was going into those parts of you that you identified at the start of this video, the parts of you that feel disconnected, that feel lonely or anxious, that are missing your friends, your families, your partners, the people that matter to you. The light was going in there. And those of you who were able to identify that deeper layer beneath that maybe felt a little bit empty or dark or disconnected, see if you can invite the light down into that layer as well. Allowing that empty space to be filled with warmth, love and light. And then imagine from the center of the earth, the beautiful warming earth energies are coming up and sending a beam of light to enter that empty part of you, wherever it may be, from below as well. So you have the light from above and the warmth and the energy and the earth energies from below, filling that empty part, that empty cavern or cave or space with a deep sense of love, light and connection. And remember this, you may have felt lost and disconnected and alone, but you have never been that way. This has all been there waiting for you when you were ready to find it again. Now imagine that behind you all your ancestors were fanning out, almost like in a semicircle behind you. And all the years and years of ancestors that you've had are kind of holding you up, almost as if they could put their hand or one hand or two hands behind you and hold you out in a fan shape behind you. Feeling that connection to where you've come from, all the people that have made you over the years. So you're feeling that deeper connection into the earth, that high connection from above to the light source, your connection to your parallel self, and your connection to your ancestors, where you've come from. And then just imagine that you could see the path ahead of you now clearly, and you can see that the light source is illuminating where you need to go. And that for every step of the way, you have all these sources of connection and support to help you through this more isolated time. And realizing that you are never really alone. So just take a moment, notice how you feel now. And I hope you've enjoyed this short video. Please let me know how you find it in the comments below.